5 driving mistakes the learners are making in the driving test, and because of that they are failing the driving test. Let's start the lesson. So number 1 is meeting traffic or meeting oncoming traffic. So when I say meeting traffic, what do I mean? What is meeting traffic? Meeting traffic is where there is no space for 2 cars. Maybe because there's parked cars on both sides, or maybe because there's road work, or maybe because there are cars on one side, and because of that the road becomes narrow and there is no space for 2 cars. For you and for the cars coming from the opposite to come, there is no space. In those situations, what the learners are doing, they are pushing the other car to stop every time, and you will fail your test for that. So if it's a situation where there is no space for 2 cars, what do you do? How do you deal with those situations? You drive in a way so that you are always looking for the gaps, either on your side or on the opposite. So if there's somebody coming, you take control, go into the gap, and then face out so that you are ready for the other car to go. As you are trying to stop, if they stop for you, it's a bonus. But don't push the other car to stop. If you keep pushing, one day the other car is not going to stop, and what's going to happen? You're both going to end up in the middle and no one can go, because maybe you've got cars behind you, they got car behind them, and you're going to be stuck. And this is why you will fail your test for that if you keep pushing. So if you are in a situation where there is no space for 2 cars, don't push the other car to stop. Find the gap either on your side, go in or face out, or could be on the other side, on the opposite, meaning you stop on your side and they could go into the gap and go. Always find those gaps when you are driving on a road where there is no space for 2 cars because of parked cars. Okay, so when you are dealing with the meeting traffic or meeting oncoming traffic, don't push the other car or you will fail your test for that. Number 2, dealing with junctions. Many learners, they fail because they are not preparing themselves to deal with the junction. So for example, you are coming up to a giveaway line and you have to give way to the cars on the main road. Okay, as you approach, you should be thinking, there is a giveaway line, how am I going to deal with that? What do I need to do? Do I need to stop? Because what does giveaway line mean? Do you understand what the giveaway line means? Do you have to stop at the giveaway line? Or do you have to give way? What if there's nobody there? What if you stop anyway? What does that mean? Are you going to fail your test for that? Because first of all, you have to understand, what is giveaway line? What does it mean? It means that if there is somebody on the main road, you have to give way to them. And if there's no one there, you don't stop. This is what the giveaway line is telling you. Okay, many learners, they get that wrong. They think that I'm going to stop anyway if there's nobody there to be safe. Well, you will fail your test for that. Why? Because you've just broken the rule, what the giveaway line is telling you. What is the giveaway line for? It's for flow the traffic. Okay, if there's nobody coming and if you could see early, then you don't stop, because there's nobody there to stop. That's what the giveaway line is all about. If there's nobody there, you don't stop. If there's someone there, then you stop. So when you are coming up to a junction, you need to think and ask yourself that, can I see if there's someone coming? So I'm going to look both ways and there's no one coming. You need to prepare yourself to go. Are you prepared? Are you slowing down? Did you signal? Are you at the right position or the correct position? So these are the things you should be thinking already in advance so that you deal with the junction correctly. Okay, many learners, they're not thinking when they're dealing with junctions. So when there is a junction coming up and there is a giveaway line, think what you need to do. Think, do I have the priority, or am I in the minor road where I have to give way to the cars on the main road? And if I do, is there cars there? If there isn't, do I have to stop? So dealing with junctions is where many learners, they fail because they're not prepared and they're not thinking in advance how they're going to deal with the junction. Okay. Hi, if you are learning to drive or you are training to become a driving instructor, we have an online course for you. So if you're a learner, we have an online course for you for manual and automatic. And if you're training to become a driving instructor, we have an online course for you for your ADI Part 2 and ADI Part 3. Please check the description for the links of the courses. Have a look and have a read. If you like it, you could always join the course. Number 3 is the stop line. Okay, now we talked about the giveaway line. What does it mean? It means that if there is nobody there, you don't stop. If there is, you stop. But what if there is a stop line? What does that mean? Many learners, they fail on a stop line with a stop sign is because they don't stop fully. Remember, the stop line is there because you need to stop. Unless you stop, you can't really see. The junction is dangerous unless you stop. They don't put stop line everywhere. They only put stop line is where they feel unless you stop, it is dangerous. You need to stop and see if it's safe. Okay, so if you don't stop fully, by law, you have to stop on a stop line. And let me repeat, by law, you have to stop on a stop line. And this is why I say to my learners is to stop and put the handbrake on. That confirms that you stop fully. The law is to stop. You don't have to put the handbrake on. But I say put the handbrake on. Why? Because that confirms that you stopped fully. Because if you stop and you think you stopped and the car actually kept on going really slowly and you didn't really stop, you will fail your test for that. And many times, many learners, they think they stopped, but according to the examiner, they didn't because the car was still moving slowly and they failed their test for that. It's because it's against the law not to stop. And that's why I say stop, put the handbrake on, it confirms you stopped, and then go. Obviously, don't stop like and stay there for a few million years now. All I'm saying is stop, put the handbrake on, get the car ready quickly, then see if it's safe, and then go. The other thing about junction or dealing with stop line is when you stop, make sure you get the car ready quickly. Get your car prepared quickly. If your car is not prepared, soon as you find a gap, you're not going to be able to go because you're not ready. So soon as you stop because there is car or it's a stop line, stop and get the car ready quickly. Get the car ready quickly so you're ready to go. Soon as you find a gap, you go. Many learners, they're not ready. They take too long to get ready, or they just wait, and when they find the gap, then they're trying to get ready and it's too late. You're going to lose the gap. Okay, so soon as you stop, quickly get the car ready, prepared to go, and as soon as you find the gap, you go. Next is the roundabout. Many learners, they feel confused when they are dealing with roundabouts. It's because they don't have enough knowledge or they haven't done enough training on roundabout. So if they need to go left or straight or right, they feel confused, or they have the knowledge but they're not quick enough in their mind. And by the time they are thinking, it's too late because the roundabout is already there. So make sure you understand the principle of roundabouts, the meaning of roundabouts, the lane that you need, where you need to go, when you need to signal, which lane do you need to go left, to go straight, to go right, when do you signal? Because unless you have full understanding, the theory of how to deal with roundabouts, it is always going to be difficult for you to make your mind up quickly, because the car is not stopping, car is moving. And by the time you think, and if you take too long to think which lane you need, when to signal, you're already there. Then it's going to be too late. Now you are maybe in the wrong lane and you are signaling wrong way, or you haven't signaled where you should have signaled early. So make sure you understand roundabouts fully and you don't feel confused about roundabouts. To go right, which lane do you need? When do you need to signal? Do you need to signal to come off? Do you need to look at the blind spot? There are 3 lanes on the roundabout. Which lane do I need? So these are the things you need to know, you need to ask yourself. And if you feel confused, make sure you learn and ask your driving instructor to help you with that. Remember, when you're learning with the driving instructor, you're not just paying for them teaching you, you're also paying for their knowledge. So make sure you ask them, because you will only learn if you ask. If you don't ask, you're not going to learn. So make sure you ask your driving instructor if you feel confused on something, so that you are fully ready when you go to the test. You have all the answers that you need about roundabouts. That way, when you're coming on a roundabout, you're not going to feel confused. Because many learners, the reason they fail is because they feel confused with the roundabouts. They don't have the full understanding of roundabouts, or they need to think, and by the time they're thinking, the roundabout is already there. So make sure you fully understand what roundabout is all about, and make sure you know which lane you need and when you need to signal. That way, in the test, you are fully ready to deal with roundabouts. And lastly, anticipation. Now, when I say anticipation, what do I mean? What is anticipation when it comes to driving? Anticipation is where you need to read the road and always be ready for unexpected. This is what we mean when we say anticipation when it comes to driving. You always have to be ready for unexpected. Things are happening all the time. There are many things on the road. There are parked cars, there are people. roadworks. There are many things on the road, things are happening. Are you reading when you are driving? Are you ready for the unexpected? So you are driving on a road where there are plenty of parked cars. What could happen? Door could open. Somebody could cross the road. What speed can you drive on that road? The road is 30. Can you do 30? The car in front signaling. What could happen? They could slow down. What do I need to do? When they go in, there could be another car coming from that road. So are you ready for all those things? There's a junction coming up. In that junction, does it have a giveaway line or is it a stop line? What's the speed of this road? Did I miss the sign for the speed? There's a traffic light coming up. What could happen? Is it going to change? There's a crossing. Is there anybody to cross the road? Did they press the button? The traffic light could change. So these are the things comes under anticipation. You always have to read the road so that you are ready for the unexpected. If something happens, you are ready. So when you're driving, always be ready, always read the road and always anticipate what is happening. That way, you're always going to be ready if something happens. Hi, if you are learning to drive or you are training to become a driving instructor, we have an online course for you. So if you're a learner, we have an online course for you for manual and automatic. And if you're training to become a driving instructor, we have an online course for you for your ADI Part 2 and ADI Part 3. Please check the description for the links of the courses. Have a look and have a read. If you like it, you could always join the course. So that's the 5 driving problems or driving mistakes the learners are making in the driving test, and they're failing the driving test for that. In the future lessons, I will share more mistakes, but in this one, these are the 5 I am sharing. I hope it helps. If it does, please do give a thumbs up and please do make a comment what you think of the video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so don't miss any of my future videos, and hope to see you again on the next video. Bye for now.